Hi viewers, today we are going to reflect on an essential life skill, communication abilities and the importance of English in it. Dale Carnegie Institute of Training conducted a study among the successful people across the world and the results were startling. They found out that over 85% of the financial success of these people is attributed to their personality, ability to communicate and their ability to negotiate, and only 15% was due to their technical knowledge. So it became crystal clear that communication abilities is important for success. But out of the 6,500 languages across the world, why so much importance to English? The reason is, whether you like it or not, British colonialism had occupied over 25% of the surface of the earth and English has penetrated into these countries. 53 countries have English as the first language. 118 countries have English as the second language. So it's the most common second language. 1 out of 5 persons in the world speak English. So even if you do not know the native language of the people, you can connect to over 400 million people across the world if you're proficient in the connecting language. So it's become the language of the travel and tourism. Most of the emergency updates, schedule, travel information come out in English. You can study anywhere in the world. You can travel to any part of the world if you learn this spoken English. On top of it, it has also become the language of the internet, media and entertainment and film industries. Over 52% of the most visited websites across the net are in English. Almost all of the literature, music and books of the world, most of it is translated into English and you gain access to it because of that. So the limits of your language becomes the limits of your world and your culture. Next comes the question of employability. Can I get a job if I do well in written and spoken English? Yes, becoming a professor, doing a language research, getting into media or literature related jobs. These are all English related or English oriented professions. But I would say in general, employability itself becomes bigger and wider if you're proficient in English language because it is the language of science, technology, computers, aviation, diplomacy, business and trade. The reason is most of the employers, around 95% of the employees in the world use English to communicate with their clients and with their employees even though English is not their native language or official language in the country. Most of the technological giants like Oracle or SAP or big companies like Facebook or Google, these are all headquartered in English-speaking countries. So you become well understood by your colleagues, your customers, clients and suppliers and potential employers if you are able to be proficient in your spoken English. Normally when you sit for an interview, you go with your biodata in which all the information about yourself is put already there in black and white. Still, in most of the interviews, the very first question they pose to you is, tell me about yourself. Why do they ask this question? When everything is already present in the resume, they ask this question because it gives the potential employer a confidence when he hears you speak, when he observes your body language. It gives him a confidence that you can be entrusted with responsibilities. You can be hired. You can be given additional tasks and you will be a performer. He gets all these inputs from your language. So the words or your language becomes the apparel or the dress to carry out all your ideas and knowledge across and it parades across the world. So you need to make that very strong and very rich. Now, a lot of emphasis and impetus is given to mother tongue as a language. People say science and technology should be studied in mother tongue because that is the language in which you dream. When your original thoughts come out, it is in your mother tongue. Many scientists like Abdul Kalam, Mailsamy Annadurai, who sent that Chandrayaan to the space, ISRO Shivan, all these scientists studied science in their mother tongue. So C.V. Raman was the first Indian to get a Nobel Prize for Science. His biography was written by one Mr. Rajendra Singh. There he explains why we were not able to produce another Nobel laureate from India. The reason he quotes is that in most universities in India at that time, science was taught in foreign languages. This is the reason he attributes. So mother tongue is important. Mother tongue is like the soul. Then why English? Why so much importance to English is because Learning English is like getting another soul. It gives you access to another culture. You can practice your mother tongue in your families, while speaking to your friends, when you go outside in your native town. There are so many opportunities for this. But for English, to practice the language, there is not enough opportunities. You cannot speak English to an uncle who visits your home, or when you go to buy something small from a petty vendor shop nearby in your neighborhood. Then how do I gain spoken English practice? That's a very difficult question. The answer is similar to how do I learn swimming? By sitting on the shore and watching people swimming, can we swim? Only by jumping into the water, we can learn swimming. Similarly, we can gain proficiency in spoken English only by speaking the language at every opportunity which is given, especially at a young age. School-going children have plenty of opportunities in schools which emphasize speaking the language. So it can be a very effective testing or a practicing ground. When you submit your research paper in college, or when you're sitting for a job interview, that cannot be your testing ground for your English. Whereas in school, you can afford to make mistakes. Second most important thing is, do not get humiliated or make fun of other people also if they speak broken English, or you yourself end up speaking in broken English. At least you're attempting to do something which the other children hesitate to do. Many people ask, can I improve my English by watching English movies, listening to English music? I would say a better way to increase your language skills is by reading books. Our brain is an amazing supercomputer. When you read books, you come across new words and new phrases which you don't know. Somewhere in the brain, in the subconscious memory, these are getting stored. So when you are speaking in English and when you're groping for words, when you're searching for phrases, unconsciously, our brain throws up these words and phrases for the appropriate situations. So your richness of your language and your fluency improves in this fashion. Next, let's break a popular myth. Does English learning makes you smart? After all, English is a language. It is not a medium to analyze a person's intelligence, capabilities, or knowledge. Many people say this. To answer this, a Swiss study was conducted in 2012. The results were surprising. The study said that learning a foreign language like English alters certain structures in the brain, especially those areas governing concentration, memory skills, and creative abilities. So learning the language makes the brain stronger and more versatile. April 23rd is World English Day, but you need to practice the language every day in order to gain mastery over it. Friends, learning a language is not a genetic gift. It's actually a social gift. By learning a language, you become part of a club. And by learning English, you become part of a big club. In this reflection, I would like to say much of my career and financial success and personality development I attribute to my school, which laid lot of emphasis on spoken English. I studied in Holy Cross Anglo-Indian Higher Secondary School, Tuticorin. I look upon my school with lot of gratitude because it molded me into what I am today. For a lot of interesting stories and inspiring reflections, please do subscribe to this channel and also click the bell button and all button so that you get notified whenever a video is posted. Until I see you in next reflection, please take good care of yourself. Cheers.